Welcome to Toastmaster Time, the show that's got everybody talking. I'm Justin Paras, and I'm excited to be your host for tonight's episode. At Toastmaster Time, we celebrate the art of public speaking, personal growth, and effective communication. Former British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli said, "The secret of success in life is for a person to be ready for his or her opportunity when it comes." At Toastmasters, we help prepare you to seize the opportunity whenever you speak. Just like in a regular Toastmasters meeting, we're going to have prepared speeches and evaluations. We are very fortunate tonight to have Abhishek Chaturvedi from City Speech Toastmasters as our evaluator. Abhishek, welcome to Toastmaster Time. Please give our audience a preview of what's in store for tonight's episode.
Thank you, Justin. Tonight, we are going to have two amazing speakers. Our first speaker, Andrea, will inspire us to take on a challenging and powerful 30 days alcohol-free challenge. And then the second speaker, Denise, will share her insights on navigating difficult conversations. It's a skill that we all can use. Over to you, Justin.
Wow, thank you so much, Abhishek. I love both of those speech topics. I'm excited to hear our speakers deliver their speeches here today. Our first speaker is Andrea Bell from Heart to Heart Toastmasters Club. She's working on the presentation mastery pathway. In Toastmasters, there's a multitude of pathways you can choose from depending on your communication and/or leadership goals. Andrea is working on level 3 of the presentation mastery pathway. The objective of this project is persuasive speaking. In this speech, Andrea will be inviting you to embark on a transformative 30-day journey of going alcohol-free, highlighting the numerous health benefits and personal growth opportunities of this very, very powerful choice. Andrea Bell, Sip Smarter, 30 days to a healthier you. Sip Smarter, 30 days to a healthier you, Andrea Bell.
Did you know that taking just 30 days alcohol-free can lead to transformative change in your health and your energy levels? Research backs this up, as does the experience of participants in these 30-day challenges. And I know from personal experience. I've been alcohol-free for 13 years, and it has completely transformed my health and my life. And it's inspired me to coach others who want to do the same. I've worked with people one-to-one and in group settings, including some dry January challenges. And that actually led to being featured in USA Today for my tips on a successful dry January. So I'm here to ask you to open up your minds just for a couple minutes to the possibility of trying a 30-day challenge. Imagine how great you'll feel and how much you can accomplish. Over 70% of the people who participate in these challenges report better sleep quality and increased energy levels. In addition to that, the majority experience weight loss and improved skin, if you can believe that. And the benefits don't stop there. We find that folks have an improved mental clarity. They have improved sense of emotional well-being. So this looks like improvements in memory and concentration, a reduction in brain fog, and a reduction in feelings like stress and the symptoms of anxiety and depression. Many of the folks also report feeling a sense of accomplishment and a sense of pride in completion of that challenge. And studies have actually shown that people who successfully participate in this challenge have a decrease in their drinking far into the future. So before I stopped drinking, I was significantly overweight. I had poorly controlled hypertension, and I was a stress case. Today, I have sustained a weight loss of over 50 pounds. I've ran 4 marathons and over 30 half marathons. In fact, I actually got a PR in the marathon just 4 months ago at my age. I was thrilled. But this isn't about me. This is just to say that if I can do it, so can you. So I wanted to share with you a few tips about getting started. The first is to set a clear goal for yourself and to understand what your purpose is in taking on this challenge. You want that purpose to be meaningful so that it anchors you during times when things get a little bit sticky. The next step is to set a date. This should be a date that is going to allow you time to prepare. And it doesn't have to be on a Monday, and it doesn't have to be on the first of the month, and it certainly doesn't have to be on January 1st. It's just a day that works for you. Prepare your environment by putting that alcohol away out of your living space and replacing it with healthier alternatives. And also think about, is there anything else in your home and in your life that might trigger the urge to have a drink? Think about how you're going to manage that as well. And that gets to the point of planning ahead of time. You're going to want to look at your calendar and see the events and the occasions and all of the things where alcohol may be a factor. How are you going to work with those situations? Make a plan, and then you can stick to your plan. If you don't have a plan, anything can happen. And finally, you can hold yourself accountable by joining a group of other folks who are doing the same, or you can just tell a friend who is going to be supportive about what you're doing. So this is an opportunity to have health and psychological benefits, even financial benefits. And I just want to express that by choosing 30 days alcohol-free, you're not giving something up. What you are doing is you are making gains. You have so much opportunity, health, and wellness ahead of you. So I invite you to take on this challenge and to remember that your next level you is just 30 days away.
Thank you, Andrea, for that inspiring and highly motivating speech. Please come join me at the table for a short interview. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
I've ran 1 half marathon, and it was like the hardest thing I ever did. So I gave it up to
Well,
you.
congratulations.
Thank you. So tell our audience at home, how long have you been in Toastmasters?
I rejoined Toastmasters about a year ago.
Okay.
And I actually had been a member previously during the pandemic. I
Awesome.
participated in those Zoom meetings.
Okay. I was impressed with how you communicated your message. In your journey in Toastmasters, what's something you've learned that has helped you to become the communicator that you are today?
Well, I really have learned that it's important to push myself outside of my comfort zone. That by doing so, that's where all the growth is. And so, coming here today was a part of that.
Yeah, I heard something where it says the only way to grow your comfort zone is through discomfort, right? So let's say there's audience members at home who are thinking about joining Toastmasters because they want to work on their communication skills, but they're hesitant to go to their first meeting. What's something you would tell people in that group?
I would tell people in that group that all you have to do is take the next step. It's like,
Yes.
sign up for that meeting, show up, see
Exactly.
see what you think. You
One
have
step at a
nothing
time.
to lose. Yeah.
Yeah, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, I think is what they say. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show, and I hope you come back and
Thank
visit us
you.
again in the future.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Abhishek, our evaluator here tonight, who's going to give feedback on Andrea's speech. Abhishek, over to you.
Thank you, Justin. Sip smarter. Andrea, what a wonderful speech. I liked your speech for so many reasons. You have this amazing smile that were completely coordinated with the words that you were speaking. Plus, I could see all these hand movements. They were really giving a flavor to your speech, where not only your voice was talking, but your whole body was giving a message. You have this soothing voice, which you are able to use to enhance your speech. But if I have to challenge you to do something that I felt maybe you could have talked about, that why 30 days? Why not 90 days? If that was the message that you could have given us at the end, could have been wonderful. But overall, amazing speech, because the best way to convince somebody is to come up with a story. And if a story is personal, that's always convincing. Back to you, Justin.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for that well-rounded evaluation. For viewers at home, one of the benefits of going to a Toastmasters Club are the evaluations. We provide evaluations that are positive, constructive, and overall encouraging, just like Abhishek displayed a few moments ago. All right, our second speaker also happens to be a member of Heart to Heart Toastmasters. Her name is Denise Blanc. The pathway she's working on is the visionary communication pathway. Denise is also working on level 3. The objective of this level and project is to develop a communication plan. In this speech, Denise will help us navigate the challenges of difficult conversations. Using the river as a metaphor, she will share practical, actionable tips on how to stay present, listen with curiosity, and find openings even in tough exchanges. Denise Blanc, river as mentor, restoring flow in troubled times. River as mentor, restoring flow in troubled times, Denise Blanc.
The best thing for your nervous system is another person. The worst thing for your nervous system, another person. Lisa Feldman Barrett, neuroscientist. Here's what she's getting at. We are wired for connection. It's essential for our well-being. But connection can feel really impossible when we become emotionally triggered by what somebody said or did, and our brain flips into that fight, flight, freeze mode. And that's happening a lot these days. I'm Denise Blanc. I'm an emotional intelligence coach, I'm a mediator, and I'm the author of RiverLogic, Tools to Transform Resistance and Create Flow in All of Our Relationships. In my work, I help people make the shift from what I'm calling rock logic, where people get stuck, resistant, righteous, to RiverLogic, where they open, they become more fluid, they become more adaptable. Using the river as a metaphor seems to make it easier for people to get in touch with what they feel and how, and be able to notice it. So I want you to see for yourself. Think about a time when you were in conversation with somebody and it was effortless. It just flowed. How did it feel? What did you notice? On the flip side, I want you to think about a situation where you hit the rapids, meaning emotions got really turbulent, boiling over. How did that feel? What did you notice? It's likely you were probably able to come up with examples of both. That's the beauty of the metaphor. But the river is also an incredible mentor, because despite immense obstacles like damming, stagnation, even drought, the river keeps moving. Huge rocks, flows around them, navigates over the rapids, and keeps on moving. So here's my question. What if we could learn how to do the same? I want to offer you 3 simple but powerful tips to create more flow in your conversational spaces. Tip number 1, choose to be present. Presence is really everything. It means being fully engaged, right here, right now. But as mentioned, it's hard to stay present when we're triggered. So here's a tip that I learned and adapted from the late Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. So when you feel that surge of emotion and the adrenaline, pause. Take a breath. Take 3 breaths. And as you inhale, silently say, calm. And as you exhale, ease. Inhale, calm. Exhale, ease. Inhale, calm. Exhale, ease. And you'll notice a shift. It's probably not enough to erase all the adrenaline, but it's enough to give you the space so that you can begin to choose how you want to respond instead of react. Now, I had a chance to put this in practice not that long ago. I was staying at an Airbnb on a work gig, and I was having a glass of wine with somebody I will call Diana. And she made a flippant remark about a social issue that I care about. And I could feel the surge. I could feel the adrenaline. And I'm about to say something dismissive, and I hear this little voice in my head. Denise, isn't this a perfect opportunity for you to walk your talk? So I paused. I took a breath. I took 3 breaths. Inhale, calm, exhale, ease. And what was interesting and surprising is I got curious. Which brings me to tip number 2. Listen with openness and curiosity. So when 2 rivers come together, they converge and they get stronger. I think the same is true with the listener and speaker. Even when they don't agree, and even if one is not willing to listen, coming together, they get stronger. So with Diana, I wanted to listen and understand. I needed to ask her a question, and I wanted to understand what does she care about? So I asked her, what makes this so important to you right now, Diana? And now my job was to listen, and not just to her words, but to what was underneath her words. What does she care about? What is she worried about? And reflect it back as best I could. So, Diana, this is important to you because, or you're concerned about ... And then I do something else. I say, did I get that right? Did that capture what you meant? Because usually we don't, not quite. And so the speaker will elaborate, which is what she did. And then my job is to do it again, to listen, reflect, and ask, did I get it? I'm waiting for this magic word. And the magic word is exactly, or something like that. And when you hear that word, something really profound has happened, because it means that person has felt heard, understood, maybe even respected. The next morning, Diana said to me, Denise, that was an amazing conversation last night. Please keep talking to me. The funny thing was, I didn't talk that much, but I did listen, and she felt heard and respected. And that gave the movement between us. And I'm not telling you this because I'm great at it, because I'm not. I'm telling you because it could have so easily gone in a different direction. Tip number 3, look for and move through openings. Now this is what rivers do. They're looking for the cracks. They're moving through the cracks. So what are the openings in a conversation? It's those things we have in common. If we listen for them, we will hear them. So we find out we both have one son. We are both opinionated, clearly. We grew up in big families. We love to cook. It doesn't really matter. Those openings create a bridge. Those cracks create the bridge. And that's where the connection comes. So every time we pause and we listen and we look for the openings, we can find more flow in our communication. Now the river doesn't give up. The river opens, it adapts, and it persists. And so can we. One conversation at a time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your speech, Denise. Please feel free to join me at the table for a short interview. Thank you for coming on to Toastmaster time. I'm going to try to create some flow here with this interview.
All right. All right.
So tell our audience at home, how long have you been a member of Toastmasters?
Just under 2 years.
Under 2 years. Awesome. Okay. In your 2-year journey, what's something you've learned that's contributed to your speaking style and contributed to your ability to deliver a speech like that here tonight?
The thing that I'm really learning, and I'm still in the learning mode, is I'm learning the structure, how to structure a speech. Instead of just like wing it, there is a method to the madness. And that is something I think Toastmaster teaches really well.
Yeah, that's something I'm working on too. There's so many different ways to structure a speech, and it's a process to determine the one that's going to work best for whatever topic you're going to be working on. But I thought you did very well with your structure here today.
Thank you.
So for our viewers at home, I'm sure there's many out there who are considering joining Toastmasters, but they're reluctant or hesitant to take that first step. What would you say to try to convince them to check out their first meeting?
One of the things that I found surprising, but has been consistent, is the warmth and the kind of welcoming quality.
Yes.
And I think that that has been continuing. You know, there's been an enormous amount of support. I think that especially if you have some trepidation about speaking, I think I've watched an arc with a lot of people where they have come in really challenged and they are doing beautifully. Yeah.
I've been to many Toastmaster clubs, including your club, Heart to Heart. And I'd say one thing that's consistent is every club has welcoming individuals in a very, very warm environment. So it's a very, very good point. Well, thank you again for coming on. And like I said to Andrea, we hope to have you come back in the future. All right, Abhishek, we're looking forward to hearing your feedback on Denise's speech. So over to you.
Thank you, Justin. Denise, it was a wonderful speech. And the part I liked, that you were in full control. You showed that confidence by standing right here and talking to your audience. The other part I liked about your speech was your voice modulations. You were able to use that to give a powerful message that you wanted to deliver. However, there are a few things that I felt maybe you can try out and enhance your speech. In the beginning, I noticed your hands were right there. And for majority of the time, they were right there. In some places, towards the end, you were able to use your hands, but I would encourage you to try to use more hands as good as you are trying to use your facial expressions. Then a second thought that came to my mind, that you had this amazing example that you presented in front of us. Maybe if you could have given us a bad example, and then how to do it in a good way, the difficult conversation, that could have given a lasting impact on the audience. But overall, wonderful speech. I was surprised at how you are going to prove the point that River can be a mentor, and you were able to do that in your speech. Great job. Back to you, Justin.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for that evaluation of Denise's speech. For viewers at home, Abhishek employed the sandwich technique, which is when he started off with positive feedback, then went into the constructive feedback, and then sandwiched it with more positive feedback so that the evaluation ends on an encouraging note. So Abhishek, thank you so much. I wish we had more time, but unfortunately, that's all the time we've got for tonight's show. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a member of District 57 Toastmasters and you want to come on to Toastmaster Time as either a speaker or an evaluator, please send us an email at toastmastertimetv@gmail.com. If you want to see previous episodes and our archive, you can check out our YouTube channel at the link below. Toastmaster Time is sponsored by District 57 Toastmasters. For more information on District 57, be sure to check out d57tm.org. And for general information on Toastmasters, including where you can find a club near you and more information on the pathways, please visit toastmasters.org. I want to thank our wonderful staff and all the volunteers here at the Mid-Peninsula Media Center, and thank Andrea and Denise for delivering their wonderful speeches here today, and of course to Abhishek for being our speech evaluator. At the beginning of the show, I shared the quote from the former British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli, who said, "The secret of success in life is for a person to be ready for his or her opportunity when it comes." Continue to prep yourself for those opportunities by speaking more, growing more, and learning more. So on behalf of all of us at Toastmaster Time, I want to thank you for watching and encourage you to keep on speaking. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.